This is it, my brain says to me. It has been telling me the world would end since I was small. The doctors say it's obsessive-compulsive disorder, with a side of generalized anxiety, but I know it's more than that. It's in my blood. It is the voice of my ancestors. They say, something is wrong in the world. Something is very wrong. I don't know a lot of the old knowledge. We have residential school to thank for that. Both of my grandparents were taken. I don't speak Nihiawewan, but I'm struggling through tattered bits of conjugation and grammar. I speak like a very young child, counting animals. Peyak pieces, ni so piesasak, ni sto piesasak. Oh, gagagu awa. But I do know a few things. I know that the elders say, watch for changes in the way that animals behave. If they're acting strange, going to places they don't usually go, or migrating at odd times, something bad will happen. Something bad will happen. Ha! Something bad has already happened. This isn't the first plague that we have lived through. I look around me, at the masked faces, at the video of hospital beds enrobed in plastic like fragile, deadly cocoons, and I think back. Nokum, my grandmother, worked in the tuberculosis sanitarium in Manitoba during the summer of 1959. She was 15, fetched from her reserve to clean and carry, to wash the infected and sterilize the used equipment. She had minimal training, and she started the same day that she was hired. Were she and her sister brought in because they were expendable? For her, this was an honorable posting, proof that she had done well in pleasing the nuns at her residential school, proof that she was one of the good ones and could be trusted off reserve. She was proud to do the work, proud to earn some money for her family. Did they send her back to the family afterwards? Could she have brought tuberculosis back to the reserve with her? Think back even earlier. There are stories of the plague times, of the time when death walked the land, of villages standing empty, of children who had survived the plague, wandering miles in search of other living souls. Those who survived were marked, scarred and perhaps blinded by the pockmarks. Variola major. It sounds almost harmless in Latin. Big spots. What did we call it in Cree? Pekupewin, an eruption, a violent, transformative act, amidst a much bigger, violent, transformative act. When the colonizers reached Turtle Island, they were marked at how beautiful and bountiful the land was. Huge fields stood empty, just waiting for the till. Food crops grew wild, and berries and beans waited for hands to pluck them. It was a new Eden. It was the bones of a village that had been alive until very recently. The old ones say that the animal people and the plant people have knowledge that we don't. We are the youngest of all the peoples of the earth, and the only ones who are born not knowing their place in the pattern of life. We must learn everything. What to eat, how to find shelter, where to gather medicines, and how to use them. The animal people are acting strange. It is too hot. The old breeding grounds are now a parking lot. The medicines don't grow where they used to. The patterns of the natural world have become so distorted that it's hard to tell whether the salmon didn't run last year because of red tides or mining runoff, and now they are trying to force another pipeline through the remaining spawning grounds. They say it will never leak. They lie. Something is wrong. Something is wrong! Help! Last Christmas, Nimashum, my grandfather, pressed medicines into my hand. Sweetgrass and rat root. He said, "You're gonna need these." He was right. In March, I got sick. No fever, but a fatigue so profound it felt like I was being pressed into the bed by an invisible hand, and a headache bad enough to make me see spots. It lasted 2 weeks. The entire time, my brain whispered, "This is it. This is the end." It was not the end. I recovered, though I was weak and shaken. Going outside for the first time after my sickness was like being enfolded in a hug. The sunshine on my face was a mother's kiss. The earth missed me, and I missed her so, so much. I planted my garden much later than usual, but this spring was long and cold, like it too was waiting for things to change. I took seeds from my fresh tomatoes, planted peas I saved from last year's harvest. I pressed my hand to the earth every morning, whispering prayers to the seeds. "Come on, little ones. Wanska, I miss you." When I saw the first 2 leaves of the early pea plants, I wept. I have been rereading Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmer. I pick one chapter each morning to read and reflect on while I'm on the exercise bike, rebuilding my physical and spiritual strength. Her words, and the strength and gentleness with which she writes, are a benediction to me. Yes, yes, this is right. The earth is our mother, but we are neglecting our side of the relationship. We take and take and take, and never give thanks to those who give themselves to us out of love. The water, the land, the sun, the plant people, the insect people, the bird people, the 4-footed people. O Chinewin, a crime has been committed against them. Bastawin, a crime has been committed against us. We are all threads on the same weaving. Manato Wayanagawin. The Creator has woven us together. If one of us is hurt, we all begin to unravel. Something is wrong. Every death, every crime against a living thing, leaves a hole in the weaving. This is it. This is it. Nothing can thrive unless we all thrive together. This is the end. This is not the end.